காலை வணக்கம். இந்த வீடியோ இப்போ காலையில் எடுக்கிறதுனால காலை வணக்கம். இன்றைக்கி நான் பேசக்கூடிய விஷயம் என்னென்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, ஆஃபீஸ் பாலிடிக்ஸ். ஸோ ஆக்சுவலி what do we mean by office politics? How can it be easily be defined? It is an act of intimidating a bad culture in order to express a vexation or an irritation which leads to the rupture of a team spirit and hence the overall productivity. So what are the reasons for these office politics? It could be due to the jealousy over someone in order to show that they are the most powerful one, or for the sake of survival, their own survival. So they do this office politics. So how can we manage this office politics? There are a few things that we can follow, but we need to seriously look at it and then follow about it. But I guess like 75% of the way that you try to inculcate them inside can help you win over or manage these politics. So what are the ways by which you can manage these politics? First of all, let's be someone who do not support or who do not follow the act of gossiping, because that's the one that is the initial stage of supporting the office politics or supporting the one who is trying to be vindicative of the office politics. The second point is, do not get into a group, because when there is an office politics happening, then more than a group is playing a role. So try not to get into any group, which means like I'm not asking you to be too neutral about what they are doing or try to raise questions against them. Never get involved. Like being with a colleague, being along the sides of colleagues needs to be in a diplomatic way. So that is another way. Never go for a cup of a tea. Like that is the one place where you talk more about office politics. So when somebody or some group invites you for a tea, remember that you are going to be involved into office politics sooner. So you're going to be a victim of office politics also. So do not accept the offer of being invited for a tea inside the office hours. It's also much poisonous when you accept a tea even outside the office hours. Because when you sit for a cup of a tea, then someone's life is going to be a cup of a tea apart from what you're going to be sipping as a cup of a tea. So do not take someone's life, someone's official decisions or personal problems as your talk of the time. So be away from that. That is the third one. Then try to get yourselves engaged 24/7, which means like when I say 24/7, it doesn't mean that 24 hours and all the 7 days. If you have 8 hours of work in your office, try to get engaged in some work in the sense like something that can enhance your skills, something that can be productive for the department or for the students or for the institution. So try to get engaged in that. Try to search something. Try to own a laptop and an internet connection so that you do not use the office system, which is being used by other members. So when you try to store something inside about your personal interests, then again that will be the trump card for them to get you to make you a victim of your office politics. So try to own your own. Try to have your own laptop and then make all your works inside that. You can spend 250 to 300 rupees per month for your internet connections, and that is going to be the safest to keep up a minimum of 30,000 salary to 80,000 salary. So you can get into that. So try to follow these 3 points so that you can manage office politics. But how to win over the politics? Yes, winning over the politics, as I have said in my previous video, I would have mentioned that the tree that bears the fruit is the one which will face the stones pelted at it. This is what I have told before. So if you are someone who's very productive, very skillful, very talented, and then you become the dust in the eye of your colleagues. They cannot sleep well. Their loss of sleep is because of your position inside the campus. You might not be into a very good position, but they can take you for granted. They can take your skills, they can take your talents for them to grow. And at the same time, when you are being recognized by your management or the higher peer team, then they cannot digest it. So the politics gets involved inside that. But however, if you are involved into a politics because you are knowledgeable, you are worthy enough, then do not worry. Do not worry. If you are involved into office politics, then be strong, be happy, and be proud that you are growing. So now, how can you win over the politics is, do not make a hasty decision by just quitting the job, which I did in my previous institutions whenever I was working. So try not to take a hasty decision. Try not to immediately react to a situation and then run away from the problems. Skip that. Do not waste your energy on petty issues made up or created by petty people. Right? Try to shun their words, because the more you listen to them, you are respecting what they are communicating. Try to skip those people. All that you are from where you are. So all that you react is an outcome of the way you have been brought up, which means like it is the direct factor of your parents who would have brought you up. If you are too reactive, then they would have taught you that don't digest the injustice happening around you. And if you have flourished well, the way you are presenting yourself, it's because of your teachers who would have taught you the good means and ways of how to emerge as a good personality in the society. So your basic schooling and basic parenting is something that defines who you are. And from there you begin to grow. And every reaction and every mannerism of a person, be the gossiping way, be the way you treat a human, your fellow colleagues, everything is basically the way you have been brought up, right? So try to avoid the people who are tampering your personality. So this is one of the first step that you must take into consideration of winning over an office politics. But how can you make it in a constructive way? Try to read articles and papers. Whichever profession you are, try to know the current economic scenario, what is happening across the globe. Read, try to link it, prepare it, talk to people. See when you are trying to talk to people, there might be people who are offering you a cup of a tea or a coffee, and they would have invited you for a gossip or to talk about their personal or to talk about the office politics involved. The moment they start talking it, do not make them talk for long. You know, they have initiated it. Try to show your body language in such a way that you are not interested in it. You just nod your head and then turn your head here or there, like 180 degrees you can turn, but not straight 90 degrees or in a normal fashion to your face. No, you can be you can be at 90 degrees to their face. just skip those talks so that they never do it if they are wise, understanding what your mentality is. The other way that you can do is you can change them. How can you change them? You can, when you are reading a newspaper, when you are reading an article that would have been an interest to you, try to put that during the coffee break or a tea break or a lunch break, or any break that you have been offered with. You do not try to invite anybody for a tea or a coffee, because if it would have been like 3 decades back, I will say that the social platforms did not emerge and we really had a very good relationship, friendships. But whatever we are now looking is not to the purest form of relationship. If you are not there, if you have been reacting to someone candidly, they'll just chuck you and then move to the other person. So loyalty and sincerity isn't respected much. It's all about being flattery and everything. So you can have friends as long as you can have money. That is the current trend that we could currently see. But I'm not completely accusing anything of that. There are sincere friends around, school friends around, forming groups and then enjoying how to manage the life cycles. That is different. But I'm talking about the friendship that you say as a friend, being a relationship called friendship inside an office. So not to take an offer and never offer. That's my simple thumb rule. And during that time you can talk about it, talk about whatever you have read in an article and a paper, so that if someone wants to change themselves, then they can change with your modulation, with the way you are treating them. So treat them good by telling them good things. The third point that I'll say, or the second direct point that you can follow, is have a vision, an objective. See, if you're in an IT sector, I can say this. See, if you're in an IT sector and you would have been into testing field, and if you are a manual tester, try to take a QTBs, like testing board certification, ISTQB, testing certifications. That's one. Then Sunnet certification programs, whatever is available. Try to do Java. Be a developer on one side. Testing, a good tester who would have been a mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, or civil engineer, whoever it is in the testing field, can start learning the developing developer languages, codes, and such things in your free time, and then level up your standards. Because a good tester, like a developer, cannot think out of box, because he would always be engaged. His mind is mostly engaged in coding. But a tester is one who will always have to think out of box. His creativity is widened, so he can learn more developing codes. He can play a multiple role inside the workplace, which can offer him more perks. He can get into a multifold paid jobs. If it is going to be a teaching field, try to do courses. Something like electric vehicles is coming up, so you can do courses on electric vehicles, architectures on boards related to electric vehicles, then batteries for electric vehicles. There are many things, something like that. So when you are focused on doing something on that, then you won't have time to listen to gossips and then be worried about the gossips. Moreover, like you can try to present your ideas in the forms of good small vlogs or blogs, and then can share it to your international community friends. Your international friends need not be assistant professors or professors or any colleagues. Like you can get friends who might have been syncing with your own thoughts. So try to share. You can have a good friend abroad. It's not about friend. It's about someone with whom you can share your ideas, so that they also share something. And that is how. See, as long as you are close to each other, then you will always have all those quarrels and irritations and fight everywhere. But as long as you are far away, like your relationship will continuously be blooming. As a general, it's a known fact. Like it's a known fact. It's well understood. When you can understand that, you miss someone when they go away, but when they are close together, we start again quarreling with each other. So that happens. It's not a complaint enough again. So the same way you can maintain relationships with people abroad and try to exchange knowledge and ideas with them. You'll be more activated when you try to find someone much amusing outside your country. And most important and the last point is never ever open up your plans and ideas to any fellow colleague at your workplace. Do not do that. If you have planned something, for example, if you have planned for a master's program, a PhD program, or a postdoc program, or you would like to publish a paper, or you have found an idea which you would like to do as a patent, or you are trying to apply for a proposal somewhere, or you are doing some consultancy work like research consultancy or project consultancy, anything with the outside world, never share it with anybody. Like, who are those people who are trying to share it? The one who's too anxious, one who's very much excited, start sharing it with friends. Like, we always treat someone who always keeps showing all those teeth to you are termed to be the good people. Someone who comes and pats on your shoulders and then makes a joke, giggles at you. Like, you treat them as good natured people and you start opening it up. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Like, when they are expressing their fun moments with you, try to showcase those funny moments only, but not your personals. Do not share. Do not take them out and then share your secrets, telling that you're going to tell them something and asking them not to tell it to anybody. No, you do not know who will turn back after some time. So never have friends at your workplace. They are, after all, colleagues. Like, you shift from the place, like, you treat them as colleagues, treat them with respect. Like, a colleague is someone where you can share your expertise, gain knowledge, and grow together. It's over. When you move out, they are just peers, like fellow professionalists. Friends are different. Friends are someone with whom you can actually share your personals. So don't try to link your colleagues as friends. There is nothing called as friendship. Never take personals and then share it at your office place, and never share your workplace problems at your home. Don't do that. If unless and until we people are grown up, and we are not offered a job because we are unable to manage our problems. The interviewer or somebody would have understood that we are mature enough by the way we are talking. So do not share. So that is the last of the points, and one of the most hidden traits that you need to follow is to win over something. Face it. Face the backbiters. Face the gossipers. Face the bad mouth. Like, everywhere you will find these people, because you have 1 lakh job. Okay, you have 1 lakh job vacancies and you only have 10 good people around. Then how will you fill up the job and then run the business? You need to fit in someone who would have been qualified. So you cannot expect good natured people to be always around you, right? You can change someone if you really want to change. Otherwise, don't get involved. That's a simple ground line, or the important tagline that I would like to say. I hope this would be one of the motivational way of surviving the office politics. If you still feel that something else needs to be added, or if you have felt somewhere criticized in the way I have spoken, you are free to post the comments, because there are 2 ways I'll consider it. One, in a constructive way, and the other way, if you still say something, I appreciate even if you criticize or backbite or backstab me, because that's the way I take up my daily routine and I grow. There is nothing that can stop me. It's because I know what I'm doing, and I know what is going to be the after effects of it. If I find that something is going to be fruitful and beneficiary and doesn't hurt anybody's sentiments, then whatever I'm doing is right. That is how I am principled with. Thank you so much for listening to this session. I hope there will be much more productive people around after listening to these videos. I'll be thanking everybody who would have been listening to it. I'll always thank 5 of my friends. I'll be telling you who those 5 are if you're really interested. Because of those five friends, I have been the person as currently I am right now. Have a great day. Take care. Cheers. Bye.